Okay, we're good. Good morning, good afternoon, yes, and good evening, class. How are we all doing today? Yeah, I am amazed too that I finally get to say good morning after so long. Anyway, before we start, yes, we are going to do our Minecraft thing. We're going to finish this building, or we're going to continue this building. But also, I just wanted to, before we start, look at this beautiful ray tracing, right? Like, this is light that came down from the sky, bounced off the ground down here, and then bounced back onto the white stone. So, like, obviously, in real life, it's never going to be this green, right? Like, it almost looks like that these areas themselves have a innate glow to, but that's all obviously not true, right? Like, it's just that this particular version of the shader has emphasized that more than the others. Yeah. Our friend is actually doing all right. Yes, I know he's not here today. No, it's a little bit more complex than that. We can talk about it, or we'll talk about it offline. Actually, easier to do that way. Yeah. Yes, we will be sort of redrawing a lot of this building because at the very end yesterday I decided to make things different, if you guys remember. Yes. That's okay. It's not that difficult. No. And it's more fun this way. See? For example, here we have a column that exactly matches the I don't know what this is called. The benches. Yes. It's serendipitous. That's not actually planned. Pardon me? No, no, no. I don't think that's how it works. No, no, no. I definitely don't think that's how it works. Let me just go down. Check. Yeah. No, no, no. It just means that we are going to use this layout for the our tech executives retreat for the foreseeable future. Yeah, that's kind of expected, I think. Yeah, yeah, exactly. That was like my original goal was to use what did I want to say, was to use this as a sort of like a, I don't know, turn it into a swimming pool or something. Actually, we can still do that. Why not? Yeah, yeah, yeah. We can. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, 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 right. I was like, why is that pillar missing? Of course, I know why it's missing. I took it off myself. Why is our... Okay, okay. Yeah, you guys, you know what? That's fine. That's fine. You guys can continue to use the tech exec joke to make fun of me. That's perfectly all right. What am I gonna do? Stop you? I mean I could, but I don't think that's actually that much fun though. Yeah, yeah, because like, when if I have to stop you, then that sort of kills the conversation for a little bit, right? And that's not necessarily a good thing. At least not always. Yeah. Oh, actually, We don't need our bonfire anymore. Put a lantern. Oh, and we can't put a lantern because that's of course like that. Yes. There we go. Okay. Beautiful. There's a light. Can you imagine? No, we're not gonna. No, only the swimming pool is allowed to be clear from the bottom, right? Because otherwise you can't. You're essentially saying that nobody's allowed to wear skirts or dresses, and that's you infringing on like fundamental rights there. I'm not saying all girls have to wear skirts and dresses, just the ones that want to. Okay, first of all, you can't drag me into this. Second of all, I don't care what you dress as, right? Like, obviously, if you go to a white tie event in like flip flops and like not even tastefully cut jeans, that's going to be on you. Like, I'm sure that was a hypothetical. I'm sure that has never happened before. Absolutely. How would it be at all possible for someone of your stature to go to a white tie event with? Yeah, exactly. Absolute slander. 100%. 100%. You're welcome. See, I said I got you back. We might actually have to redo the floors now that I'm looking at it. It appears the group wants to know about the details of your escapade, of your supposed escapade. Yeah. So just about the flooring, I think I want to actually increase the tile set by like this, which means we have to actually do all of them, which is a little bit annoying, but you know. It does give us a little bit of extra height, right? And that's well, why don't you ask him? I can't make him tell the story. I mean, okay. Honestly, I don't think the story is embarrassing in the slightest. If our friend does, then you know, let him be. Let him be. It's all good. No, I'm not gonna take the blame for that. No. Thanks, but no thanks. His own fault for bringing it up. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, 100%. I mean, in some ways, yeah. In other ways, I don't really care. The for posterity's sake, the question was whether I should enforce some sort of what did you call it? Chat. Um, what would you call it? Chat. Chat decency, community decency. Yeah. If this were the general public, yeah, you believe me, I would. But oh, that's not good. Luckily, we can just cut that off like that, and then the water just disappears. So that's okay. Yeah, if this were the general public, absolutely, I think our administrator would have her hands full, making sure that everyone was following the general rules of the chat, etc., etc. But luckily enough, it isn't the general public, and you lot are, strictly speaking, friends, which means that we don't need to resort to such things. because why is the water not? Oh no, the water is. Is the water on here now? It is. Okay. Yeah, so we don't have to resort to such. Oh. The problem with having water that's beautiful is, of course, that I can't actually tell where it is. I can't tell the water level. Well, that looks like it's okay, I think. Just add some more down this side. Yeah, that looks like it's okay. It is rather pretty, right? Yeah. Oh, let's put some fish in there. Yes, I know it was going to be a swimming pool, but now it's a fish pond. Are there fish? I thought we had fish. Fish, yeah. Tropical fish, puffer fish. Yeah. Look at that. Our tech exec has fish. Are there like algae? I mean, you could still swim in there if you wanted. Tall grass. Oh, coral. Excellent. Oh, hello? Why did placing the coral turn everything dark? I'm confused. Well, it looks like from underneath. Yeah, you see? Oh, you know what it is? They don't have the textures for this. That's a little bit upsetting. They didn't finish making all of the textures. Yeah. Oh, it turns out that it leaks because it's only a single block. Yeah, we'll have to figure it out. Does that not change it back? I suppose it doesn't strictly matter, but it's like that's very pretty. Look at that reflection. Yeah. Yeah. Of course. So the question there is more: do we want to keep it? Right? Like I don't particularly care if it's very pretty from below, because once we build the below, I don't think I'll ever walk back up here. Yeah. So yeah, exactly. The question is more like, do we want it? Why don't you guys take a vote while I build the rest of the stairs? Yep. If we were to replace it, we would just replace it with just standard swimming pool. Yeah. As it stands, though, it looks kind of funky, doesn't it? Like you can kind of see like stars shimmering in underneath. I don't know where they are from, but you know, really matter. And then fish just kind of like, and they're all nice and tropical, right? So they're all different colors. Oh, right, we can't get in. Oh. Yeah, okay. Down here. So we are going to keep it. It's been decided? One second. Ah. So what you're saying is we're just going to let it. We're just gonna let it. one more second. Yeah, there we go. We're just gonna let it drip all over our tech exec's floors, right? Excellent. That's good. He deserves it. I mean, to be fair, I do quite like this, right? Like, obviously, we haven't really finished the building, but like, it is very it is very modern. Yeah, and like it's got a nice background to it as well, and like if you look at that, like that. I'll admit that not all of it should probably be glass, because obviously then our friend doesn't really have any privacy. But like, aside from that, I don't know what you mean. I like my privacy. Okay. I am technically that is a difficult one. I like to think. Okay, let me put it this way. I like to think that I am a tech executive, even though a lot of my peers think I'm pretentious as hell. Let's go with that. How about that? Does that answer your question? All these damn emails. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's not as if I'm like a bad. It's not. Okay, no. Let me rephrase that. It's not like my company was worse than any others. In fact, I would argue my company did better, or my companies did better than most of the people who are competing in my field, and most regular executives, regular tech executives. That's right. Like, all I'm saying is like, you. I think most of you know the story actually of my why the reason I say that, of my first ish company, where certain things happened and that made things less exciting. Look at the way the ray tracing disappears. Actually, that's very cool. Like if I open that and then it brightens up. Oh wait, no, open that. Yeah, and then it brightens up. But then once we plug the hole, it slowly, like this bright spot will slowly disappear. Very cool. Yes, technically you're right. That is a feature of a badly, okay, not badly, but like of a slow ray tracing algorithm. Yes. Doesn't matter. No, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter. I can't tell that story though. Like it's genuinely still under NDA for good reason. Let's just put it that way. can I tell it in the Discord? If I could, I wouldn't be able to say whether I did or not here. So I don't know. We'll just have to wait until after the stream to talk about it. Talk about whether or not I will be able to tell the story in a non-disclosure set community. Yeah. In the meantime, our administrator will research, or no, we'll reach out to my lawyer and make sure that I can or cannot. You don't know. I do too. I very much like this fireplace as well. Actually, like it looks so much more modern than the one we have down here, or modern-ish, right? But this one is meant for like bigger gatherings anyway. So I don't see anything wrong with that, right? Like that. Yeah, this one's meant for like, you know, like if before your drug-filled I'm not gonna go there. I don't know what you're talking about, man. I have no idea what you're talking about. Let's see. So, in terms of structural integrity, I think it looks fine. Yeah. We could. You mean the fireplace on the first floor, right? We could do something similar, like what we've done here. If that is the desire of the group, I can very well do that. It is? Okay. Very well. 2, 3, and then just one more like that. How about we do this? Oh, I have to take a phone call. Give me one quick second. Hello. Yeah, I'm sure you guys heard all of what I had to say. Yes, exactly. Oh, one second. Yeah. Where was I saying? I don't remember what I was talking, but I do remember what I wanted to do, which was to do a few more of these like wooden walls. I wonder if it should just go straight up to the top. Yeah, that's not. See, there you go. Like an illusion of privacy, right here, along the entire wall. Well, what this is, what this is, if you think about it, is a It is. Oh, friggin'. It is not even a delusion of privacy. It is actually privacy, right? Because the only people that can really see what our tech executive is doing are the people that are like looking from this side. So by having these strategic wooden walls in place, our friend can, let's say, do whatever he wants or she wants in this corner without anyone ever being the wiser. It's true. You know, I hadn't even gotten to that point yet, but I was going to make it sooner or later. The point being that we also need space to run cables and like pipes and stuff, and the wooden walls are one of the better ways of doing so. Yes. Well, it is a little bit lonely in there, isn't it? The problem is, of course, that it's simply not like lights work really weird, right? Like this is technically we're supposed to, because like during a really bright day like this, you don't need, you shouldn't have to need lights on for the inside to be just about the same as this, right? Like especially in these sunny times, like the inside shouldn't be this dark, but that's just a quirk of like modern graphics design. Yeah. Yeah. And so well, I think the problem is not only because our eyes biologically, our eyes are very, very different from what we see on a monitor, right? The monitor, or what we call high definition, or high dynamic range. High dynamic range is essentially what our eyes are able to do, or our eyes are actually able to do much more than that. But computer screens and graphics are unable to do so, right? So because our eyes adjust contrast for each pixel, each quote unquote pixel, so each retina cell that gets that gets light responds to the amount of light that hits it individually, right? So well, yeah. Of course, you're going to have light hitting all of your retina. Like say you're looking half inside the room and half outside, and it's nice and sunny outside. Then obviously, like it's the sunlight is going to try to overwhelm most of your retina. But the parts of your retina that are not being exposed to the sunlight are going to respond in a different way to make sure that you can still see some of what is in the dark, right? Coincidentally, actually, curiously, this effect isn't a cure-all, right? Because it's still going to create this sort of it's still going to create issues, and that is actually why pirates wear eye patches. Yes, absolutely. That is exactly why pirates wear eye patches, because they. So think of it this way: if you wear an eye patch, your one eye can get used to the darkness, and your other eye can get used to the light, such that when you are on board of a ship, like when you obviously when you're in the middle of the water, there's not so much vegetation, buildings, etc. to create shade, so it's going to be very, very bright, and the shimmering of the water, the reflection of the sunlight, is going to be very not antagonistic. That's not the word I was looking for. I don't know why I was thinking of it. Excuse me, but it's like the shimmering of the water will definitely be how do I say? It'll stimulate the eye enough that the eye will become very insensitive to light to protect both itself and just yeah, to be able to see properly. And so when you have an eye patch, and why the eye patch is black is obviously because then that eye that's covered by the eye patch is trying to, or rather has its sensitivity maximized, right? So it doesn't take the eye and the eye muscles any time at all once you go underneath deck to be able to see in the dark, because you can just switch your eye patch from one side to the other and suddenly you can see properly. Yeah. It doesn't. Okay. It doesn't go against what I was saying earlier about high dynamic range, because the dynamic range I was talking about means that there should be more detail in here in the darkness than there is currently. Does that make sense? I'm not saying that this is wrong. I'm not saying that our eyes don't work that way. You lot are so annoying. Oh. Yeah, you lot are just kind of like. Can you stop it? No, I'm good. Well, it's not even that. It's just the fact that. Thank you for defending me. Thank you. See, like it's the fact that out of everybody, nobody here wants to ever defend me, and that makes me sad. White stain. That white stain. Should we have gone for white stained glass? Shit. Maybe. Why is there water dripping? You see that? There's water dripping from here. There. Right? I'm not being completely paranoid. Yeah, so water that drips down through there still is able to fall through here, I think. Oh, water. I don't see it, but that's okay. Can you guys remind me, why didn't we go for the glass panel? Or glass panes? Nobody here remembers? Really? Nobody? Yeah, okay. Alright, I see how it is. Okay. No, I see how it is. Alright. Oh, crap. Why would I be angry at this? This is literally like... It's... No, I'm just... I guess I'm just amused, right? Interesting. So you're saying that, like, when I said, like, okay, I see how it is, like when I said it that way, that it sounded did it sound aggressive or like passive aggressive? I don't believe that. We're gonna need a neutral arbitrator. We're gonna need arbitration. Yes. Let me just put in a time point so that we have arbitration time point. 30. What was it? 30. Let's say 33 minutes. Point of arbitration. There we go. I know some very good arbitrators. Maybe we'll call in their expertise. Oh right. I keep forgetting. Yes. For whatever reason, for those who don't know, lawyers and like arbitrators don't get along that well, or at least the lawyers that make up most of our class, our private school class. Yes. For whatever reason, they just like I think it's because the arbitrators have ruled against them one too many times. But you know what? Shouldn't it be a good thing? Because you lot don't really care. Like, I assume your clients still pay. Professional pride. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. But you know what they say? Pride cometh before the was it dinner? Yeah, it must be dinner, right? So I hope you guys got lots of good dinner. Actually, you know what? I'll admit I can understand that. So one of our lawyers just talked about how losing in arbitration is a different career move, especially yeah, in our litigious culture, right? Like losing in arbitration is different than losing. But wouldn't you rather lose in arbitration than lose in a courtroom? Oh, I suppose. Yeah. I mean, okay, yeah. So sure, having no courtroom experience is bad, but like from a I guess how do I say it? Reputation perspective, wouldn't you rather lose in a court, losing in arbitration? Because then you can say something like, "Oh, I've never lost in a court," and still technically be true. Yeah. I suppose, yeah. No, I can understand that. Oh my god, really? Are you? I mean, we can talk about it. It's just not. It's not that exciting. Yeah, and the reason it's not that exciting isn't even like the underlying issue of okay, no, let me rephrase that. It is a tragic thing that has happened. Just to for posterity's sake, let me put in a time. What is this? 30 Afghanistan. Yeah, it is tragic, absolutely, 100%. Well, it's tragic for Western values, right? Obviously, for religious fundamentals, that is what they wanted. It is different. And our friend was just asking me to clarify how I. So in private conversation, the two of us, actually, was it the two of us? There might have been a few more people. But like in private conversation, I had talked about, even before Joe became president, that a withdrawal would lead to the Taliban really regaining control of much of Afghanistan within a few months. And the reasons I gave at the time are exactly the reasons that we see now, right? It's the lack of morale in the national army. It's the underlying issue of corruption within that army, and essentially how do I say this? Essentially, what happened was essentially what happened was the amount of money that NATO threw into Afghanistan was a prodigious amount, right? It was a huge sum, and it was thrown in essentially because nobody wanted to fight a war. They couldn't afford the casualties, so they needed essentially to recruit as many. They needed the numbers to justify their own pull out of frontline forces. It's the same thing in Iraq, really. Like, and one thing that Western countries do have is money, right? And so by using no, maybe we shouldn't say by using. I will say that by using money in an attempt to solve the problem, we introduce the issue of graft 100%, right? Like, naturally, like the moment you do that, it's going to be there. And so yeah, exactly, absolutely. So because of that issue of graft, yes, morale was never ever really going to be strong, right? And so if, like, it's in the human nature for morale to be, like, every army, literally every military in the world depends on morale to get its job done. If there is no morale, the job simply doesn't get done because nobody will want to finish it. Does that kind of make sense? Yeah, exactly. And so without the ability for the force to without the ability of the force to really, like a lot of the frontline forces, we know for a fact, and we have known for forever, most of the frontline forces were underpaid and were built on the American model. And the American model only works for America because America has the money to fund it, right? Like, the American model literally doesn't work for any other military in the world because it worships just dumping explosives on people. And that's fine if you can afford dumping explosives on people, right? Like, whether you use aircraft to dump explosives on people, or you use or you just like start with like a 50-minute artillery barrage that literally levels the entire village. It doesn't matter. Like, if using napalm. Well, yes, that's why I use that example. But the point remains. The point remains that the American model for an army only works for America, and so the moment the model sort of breaks down. Oh, excuse me. And the model really breaks down when you can't afford to pay anybody, and that's really what happened, right? And there was a very, very good article by, can't remember his name, Stradivaris, something like that. I can look it up and share it later. He was NATO commander from I think 2004 to 2009. Yeah, so essentially, like overall commander of all NATO forces. And so he did a little debrief on the Afghan army, and took some responsibility, but also like talked about where they went wrong in building the Afghanistani army. And that was one of his points, was that the problem was trying to create an army that didn't fit what it needed to do. Right, like it was simply easier to just wholesale copy paste the American model into Afghanistan, because no other really at this point, no other real field doctrine exists. Right, like America is just, the American military is so powerful that you are defined by it whether you like it or not. So by that I mean you either are using the model and you have your massive superiority in air power, in ordnance and all of that, or you're defined by your need to go against it, right? And so here we're talking about things like the PLA, the Chinese People's Liberation Army, and we're talking about Russia and all of this talk of carrier killer missiles and all of that stuff, and yeah, so like you are wanted or not, there is no real other deployment expertise, let's put it that way, right? At least in the West. And it's actually funny to think about, because America, the Continental Army, for the longest time, all it really did was give me 1 second. All it really did was, oh God, why can't I articulate it properly? The Continental Army, all it did was attempt to the Continental Army, all it did was okay, give me 1 second. Stop laughing at me. Stop laughing at me. No, stop. No. So for about the first 200 years of its life, the Continental Army, if we take away the Civil War, all it really was in charge of was frontier hunting down insurgents, right? Hunting down frontier insurgencies. So that's actually why it's extremely, no, we did this one already, why it's really, really ironic that now with Afghanistan, they've been quite unable to apply any of, well, I mean, obviously, like the counterinsurgency type of what am I trying to say? The counterinsurgency doctrines have changed dramatically since the 1800s, right? Oh, you didn't? Okay. Well, so before and after the Civil War, really, like, once America got its independence, um, there was this whole idea of manifest destiny, of getting out there, like fighting Mexico for space, right? Was an inherent, was one of the biggest, well, not fighting, but like, like you're essentially see who can colonize the North American continent earlier, and part of that was these low intensity skirmishes with Mexican settlers, but also like with Native American forces um, that were still trying to create, I suppose, like either prevent or create their own state. So the U.S. really, like, it was mostly dedicated towards counterinsurgency in that area. It was only really in the First World War that the U.S. changed its doctrine. But then after the First World War, like, the isolationists really took over again, and so like they lost a lot of that knowledge and had to rebuild it during the Second World War. And that's really, like, and so during the Second World War, that preponderance for massive amounts of firepower really took hold, right? I can barely see that. No, we're good. We're good. Yeah. Exactly. That's essentially the question, which was, oh, 1 second. Let me just shh, guys, stop. And for all of our lovely lurkers, once again, welcome to the stream. Just a friendly reminder that most of the conversation that I'm having is with a group of what we call private school classmates that exist in a private Discord. But you're all welcome to come join the conversation. Never fear. Oh, hello. It's Ara, our friend. Ara, once I don't actually know if I should pronounce it that way. I'm just gonna pronounce it that way anyway. No, she's a public school classmate of ours. So all of my viewers, because for reasons that are too complex to get into right at this moment, all of our viewers are considered classmates. The ones on either YouTube or Twitch are public school classmates, and the ones in the Discord are private school classmates. So, Ara, you're a public school classmate, so hi. No. But we'll continue the conversation. What was my point from earlier? Right, the American system, and how ironic it is that they managed to not have. Oops. There we go. And how ironic it is that for a army that was so focused on counterinsurgency for most of its lifetime, how it completely messed up both Iraq and Afghanistan by... Well, I mean, actually, now that I think about it, one of my original arguments for Afghanistan was that they really needed to do nation building, right? And since nation building didn't happen, it never, like, the moment they leave, the state will just collapse. And this isn't the same thing as the difference with the Mujahideen and Afghanistan in the late 1980s, where the Soviet Union was in Afghanistan and then got bogged down and then left. Because the Mujahideen, or rather the Afghani government had a much better trained force, right? Because the Soviets were much more likely to to actually participate in if not nation building, then at least in creating the environment for the nation to actually act properly. Whereas almost all of the American, was it three? Almost all of the American efforts in Afghanistan revolved around using contractors, right? Because when you use contractors, you don't have to talk about the tragic loss of life for a lot of servicemen and women, because the contractor will simply hide all of those numbers and all of that for you, right? And yes, I appreciate that it's a bit of a faff, and it's a bit of a how do you say? It's trying to hide the extent of things from the world, and yes, that's not good. But that is just how it was, or it was how it is, right? Both America and Russia use a lot of contractors. I mean, we've had the whole Blackwater issue. How many years? Like 5-6 years back? I can't. It might have been longer than that, but. And that was just military contractors not having to play by the rules of engagement, right? And that's tragic. Okay, we'll talk about something else. Do you want me to actually talk about what I'm doing for once? Yes, well, we were supposed to talk about like the whole point of these architectural streams was to talk about architecture as art and the different types of architecture, interior design, and all of that. But you lot keep trying to like draw me into a conversation that has nothing to do with it. I don't care where you saw it on YouTube. It doesn't have to work like that here. We can actually talk about architecture. The weeb avatar. Okay. It's okay if anyone else in the server calls me a weeb. It's not okay for you to call me a weeb, because you are literally like the source of the Stellaris mods, right? And for reference, this is a set of Stellaris mods that replaces every single species with anime girls, and then they force me to play it. So if anyone is a weeb, my friend, you are. Yes, I still do need to do this. Okay, we'll talk about it now, I guess. Yeah, so what am I doing? Well, I realized that the height issue was not fixable, so we're going to actually raise the height of the next floor just enough that it can actually be used as a floor, right? Like our earlier issue was that the height, if I left it like this with this half a block recess, it makes it impossible for us to build on there until we add the proper floor to it, which is actually what we did here, right? Like we did here with this fireplace, we had to raise it up, and then we raised it up again so that we could hide the wood. It's unfortunate that Minecraft does that, but we've talked about that before. Yes, okay. Minimalism and architecture. This is when we first started building this TechXX retreat. That's exactly what we were talking about, right? Like we had that little quasi Bauhaus museum there in the distance, and now we're about to build this this modernist, minimalist house for our tech executive. And the idea was that we wanted to make it nice and airy, that everything was supposed to be open, like bright and open, right? Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like we were supposed to essentially have enough. How do we say? Enough enough space for our executive to really do whatever he wanted whenever he wanted. Well, I mean, with enough privacy, of course. We had this conversation earlier in the stream. Just because I was a tech exec doesn't mean that. Wait, why are these like that? Oh, it's because I never changed it out. Okay. Just because I was a tech exec doesn't mean you have to like say that this is exactly the kind of lifestyle I want. No. I mean, I've seen my peers, right? Like I would rather not. Like I would rather just say thanks but no thanks to all of that. Coincidentally, thanks but no thanks is still my favorite phrase ever uttered by a politician. Sarah Palin in 2008, I want to say 2007 perhaps. It's just like best context. I don't remember the context. Yeah. Well, no, it's not that I'm old. That was just literally the first election I ever followed in my life, right? What was I? I was like, I think I just started high school, so I had to like be really pretentious. Yeah. I had to pretend that I cared about the world, right? Because that's what you do as an emo high school student. You try you emo by saying I care about the fate of the world more than anyone else. Actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, that's literally what you lot are doing. Like the moral superiority that you have. Yes, I realize our time's up. Let me just finish this floor, and then we shall end it for today. Yeah. No, I'm not. Remember when we first, or when I first proposed the stream, and everyone was like, "Oh, this is so boring. Nobody's gonna watch it." And then I started streaming, and then you lot were like fighting to sponsor new content. And now there's this desire for me to stream more than an hour a day. Can you guys make up your minds? um, That's a good question. Would I? The question was whether I would consider streaming more if they paid more. Maybe. But I am already like overworked, right? So it would. Oh, are these stairs okay? Oh yeah, these stairs are just okay. I am already overworked. Half because half of you have like agreements with me. Oh wait, this. Yes, we're good. And the yeah, I mean, yeah, I do a lot of things. Anyway, we can talk about it off the air. So let us end it here. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. I don't know if our public school student classmate Aura is still with us. If she is, hello and bye bye. And that is it for today. Yes. Question. we could decorating the inside of this. Yes. I'm not a big fan of decorating in Minecraft simply because there's just not enough stuff, right? Like you saw me put like a couch with a little lantern up here. This is the extent of the decorating that I have done in Minecraft simply because we don't have enough like blocks to be able to do more. But we could, yeah. I do need to think about it if that were the case. Am I proud of myself? Yeah, kind of. I think this looks all right. You know, we have that cute little fireplace on the second floor. We have that cute little fireplace on the first floor. We have the little the little fish tank on the roof. Yeah, I think this was actually one of our better Minecraft creations, I think. Well, except for the fact that it leaks, but that's an engine limitation. That's a Minecraft limitation and not my own. Okay, we're done. Bye. Oh yes, please download Firefox. Please don't do Chrome. And that's it for today. Yes. Have a good day. Bye bye.